Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Marsha Carter McLean, and I am the host for the 2.0 Grandma Show. This show is all about grandmas for grandmas and by a grandma. It is my pleasure to introduce today Miss DJ Pink Diamond, honey. Yes! Oh my God. I am so excited to talk to you. I can't wait for our listeners to hear what you have to say about the secrets of your success. I'm so excited. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great, especially for a weekend. I'm actually doing good today.
Good,
How
good,
are you
good.
guys doing today?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. I'm delighted that you're here. I can't wait for my grandmas to hear about what you're doing out there and how you are living your dreams, honey. It is so exciting. I mean, I have been so blessed to meet so many phenomenal women that just happen to be grandmas and are just out there doing their thing. So I want you to share your story with us. You share as much as you want to share, okay? I have some questions for you, then you just have at it. All right?
Well,
That sounds
that's good. Sounds good to
okay,
me.
great. So my
Um,
first question is I always like to ask about your grandchildren or grandchild or whatever the situation is and how you felt becoming a grandma.
I just moved back to the East Coast back in 2014, like that early part of the year.
Hmm.
So that was probably like February. And I was actually living in Texas at that point. When I got back to the East Coast, maybe I think March, April, kind of towards the end of March, early April, my
Hmm.
daughter calls me and says, Mom, I said, what's up? She said, I'm pregnant. I said, what? I'm like, are you really serious? She's like, yes. I said, all right, I'm gonna call you back in a little bit. I had to get off that phone. I had to think about that one.
You had to process that
I really
information.
had to think about that one because I was like, I'm not ready to be nobody's grandmother. But then I thought about my daughter was in her 30s, so she already lived her 20s.
Hmm.
So, okay, let me go back, think about it some more. And then probably in the evening, I called her back and I was like, are you really sure? So she sent proof, right? And then, of course, the main question is, who is the daddy? That's the main question because I don't want my grandchild coming here screwed up, if I
Hmm.
would say so, you know.
Hmm.
So we
Hmm.
need to explore who the father is, their genes,
Hmm.
their mental well-being, all
All
of that
right.
good stuff, because
Yes.
that's going into my granddaughter. So I had to
Yep.
think about that for a couple of days.
Mhm. Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. I was the same way when I had my first. Well, when I found out about my first, I'm like, wait a minute, and of course, I went straight to me. Wait a minute, I'm not ready. Anyway, self. Anyway, yeah. So I
I
get it.
was not ready. I was
Yeah,
not ready.
yeah.
No.
But when you see that beautiful face, when you saw that beautiful face, that little baby for the first time, what happened?
Well, I was like, man, I was actually in the room when I first saw the baby, if you know what
Mm,
I'm saying.
yes, I know what you're saying.
I was almost passed out, but then I was like, after she fully came out, I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe I am somebody's grandmother. After I really truly saw it. Um,
Hmm.
but I was happy. She had some complications, coming out and also having to stay in there like for probably about a week. And
Mm,
then I was like, I was in mama mode, not grandma mode. I was in
right.
mama.
takeover mode, basically, what you say, right?
Yeah, I'm about to take over, make sure she's good to go. You
Mm-hmm.
know, because it was just me and my daughter.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's no husbands around,
Mm-hmm.
just
Mm-hmm.
me and my daughter and her best friend.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, man, this is gonna be a journey. It's gonna be a journey.
Mm-hmm.
So when she came out, and thank God you know, she was born healthy, but then she also had a little bit of complications, just a
Mm-hmm.
little bit. So it made me realize I'm really about to be somebody's grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
So everything fell in place. So I
Mm-hmm.
felt a little bit better, especially once she came out of the hospital.
Yeah.
Then I done started buying clothes. I
Yeah.
started buying this, started buying that. I was going
Uh-huh.
crazy like it was my
Right.
kid.
Right. Been there. I know. Yeah, it's interesting. It really is. And and it's such a blessing, And I remember, like I said, how I felt the first time when I heard him, like, oh my God. And then once I saw that baby, it was like all over. In love. Yep. In love. And still in love 20 years later, right? Okay. For
Right,
me. Yeah,
right,
20 years
right,
later. Still in
right.
love. Yes, 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 yes. So tell us about you, who you are. And I want to hear about, your career, how you got started in the music industry and all of that.
Mm. Well, for me as a grandma DJ, right?
Hmm. Right. That's so exciting.
It's kind of weird, but it is real life. I've been into music ever since I was like in the fourth grade, pretty
Mm.
much. Um, and I definitely won't tell that part of the years, but I started in the fourth grade, seriously, playing a flutophone. I don't know if people know what that is or whatever, but that's how I started with
But
music.
yeah.
Um, and then by the time I got in the sixth grade, I tried out to play an instrument, right? In the sixth grade. So the instrument that I found exciting and engaging was a trumpet and a French horn.
Mm,
Yeah,
really?
so my music journey really started from the sixth grade to kind of where I'm at now. Um, I played trumpet and French horn in the marching band, the stage
Mm,
band, the concert band, all the bands that you could be in from the sixth grade to the 12th grade, pretty much.
mm.
And not only that, I was the first chair female trumpet player.
Wow.
Hmm.
Wow.
Yes, so I've been
You've
competing with
been pretty
guys
much
all my
breaking
life.
records. Yes, you've been breaking records all your life, right? Yeah.
Well, I've been competing with seems
Uh-huh.
like guys all my
Uh-huh.
life
Uh-huh.
because you would never think a girl in the ninth grade, coming from middle school, knowing how to play a trumpet, and then end up like I didn't get first chair in the ninth grade, but I got it in the 10th grade all the way to the 12th grade. And then I was taught by um a great band teacher. He's no longer living. His name was Mr. Flo. Okay.
Mm.
Um,
Hello.
Mr. Flo stayed on me, on me, on me. Learn the notes, learn what you hear. You have to have a good ear, right, to play trumpet anyway. So I was the type of female, I learned the notes first, and then I learned how to play by ear without looking at the notes. So that's how that music part start. And then I think after I came from out of high school, I did not play the trumpet any longer. Then uh, I kind of headed a different route and went from playing a musical instrument to modeling.
Mm.
Right. So I
Mhm.
started that like probably in my 20s. Um, And I did some runway shows with that. Did a couple of events with the model companies that I was with. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then from there, I met this guy who was um, into singing. So I ended up marrying him. And it was an opportunity for me to be around him because he knew music too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He knew how to read music. He didn't play a specific instrument, but if you heard his voice, you would think you listening to Luther,
Mm.
Marvin Gaye,
Mm.
Tyrese. He
Mm.
sounded just like them, right?
Mm.
And I think that drove me to get into and listen to music more because I now was surrounded by a singer. And so from there, I just started listening to more music, listening and listening. And then he and I was making CDs, back in the day.
Uh-huh.
We would have those riding CDs and we would listen to our favorite songs, that are still currently hot. I don't care
Uh-huh.
how old they get. You can
Uh-huh.
play that song and it still sounds great. I
Uh-huh.
just
Like
I
a
just did
Frankie
it to get
Beverly kind of situation, right?
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
right. So and then I kind of grew up in the 80s and 90s, um, and where the hip hop started and all that kind of stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just addicted to music. I mean, I just like music. I don't know what it soothes my soul.
Mm, mm, mm. Yes, I can attest to that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm a music lover
it
too.
definitely soothes my soul. So,
Mm.
then I with the DJing journey from modeling, I stopped modeling. After I got married, I took a break because I had to be a wife and all that kind of stuff. And um, then I became a divorcee. Okay. So once I became a divorcee, the year after that, I moved to Texas because I was offered a job with my already company. And so once I moved to Texas, I got homesick for the East Coast.
Mm,
This is
mm.
a real true. So I was so homesick that I would get homesick on Wednesday nights. I don't know what it was, but Wednesday.
Wait a minute. Okay, yeah, you need to explore that a little more. What? Yeah, what was
I
it?
don't know what it was with Wednesday nights, but I would be so depressed because I'm in Texas. I didn't know anybody. The
Uh-huh.
only person I knew was the supervisor that transferred me. That was
Mm,
it. And then after that, I just kind of like figured out should I make uh what could I do over here? I was trying to figure out what could I do in Texas to keep myself busy.
mm.
Now
Okay.
this was before I became the grandma now.
Right, 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 right.
That was
Uh-huh.
before it became the grandma. So,
Uh-huh.
and then I just started doing some research in 2011. And I think one Thanksgiving, I was sad because I ain't had nobody to eat Thanksgiving with. So I
Uh-huh.
turned on some music. I made my own Thanksgiving dinner. Then after I finished eating, I sat down and I started getting on the computer. It's like I'm gonna learn how to be a DJ.
Mm. Well, now
Right.
hold that thought because I want to hear about your DJ journey. We have to take a little quick break and we'll come right back and then we'll explore that a little bit. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Perfect.
Okay.
I'm here.
I hear you.
I had to go get me some water. I'm sorry.
No problem at all. No problem at all. So now you said you were, after that Thanksgiving, you were a little bit melancholy, a little sad there, and so you decided, okay, I need to do something else, and so you started thinking about what that next step might be, or the next chapter, and just happened to be.
Yeah, looking into DJing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Looking at, I was actually looking into not just DJing. Um, I had to figure something out of what I wanted to do since I became now this whole brand new person. Um, what am I going to do with my life moving forward? And I'm
Mm-hmm.
by myself. Kids are grown. I'm single again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
um, and I'm feeling good about myself. So I did the research on DJing, figuring out how to do software. So that was my first step into it. But then after 2011, I got settled in Texas. 2012 moved in. I've already started exploring something else different. I went from the DJing to, okay, what else can I do now? I was already had a company once I moved to Texas. So I started it in Virginia, right? So I'm like, okay, maybe I'll make my business into an LLC. Maybe I will try to become a recording artist manager. Maybe I'll be a DJ. I was trying to figure out what to do, pretty much, besides
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
what I had already started, which was the event planning of my business.
But all
So
roads led to music. I
it
noticed that's
did.
a yes.
It did because even though I left the thought of the DJing back in 2011, 2012, in 2012, I produced my first fashion show in Dallas, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knew me because I came from the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I got to know lots of people through just networking. And I ended
Mm-hmm.
up having a huge success for the first fashion show that I put together. Um, and I mean, things just started popping off from that fashion show, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Once I got, models, I started dealing with vendors that I could count on to add to my roster, to my company. And
Mm-hmm.
then I met with this DJ. This my buddy, DJ Bobby B from Dallas, Texas. Just so y'all know that, guys. He is also now with the Fleet DJs, but he also encouraged me. I just kept going to gigs when he started DJing, and then he started introducing me to people in Texas. So,
Mm-hmm.
that's how my networking stuff started over there. And then once I decided to move back to the East Coast, I went back and explored the DJ and stuff again, but then I left it alone. Then I put together a second fashion show in
Uh-huh.
Richmond, Virginia. So I'm
Oh,
like, okay,
really? Huh.
yeah, I'm doing all these I did one in Maryland too. So my main thing was to do a fashion show, bring together DJs, vendors, models, all in one setting of every
Mm-hmm.
city I've ever lived in. That's what my
Mm-hmm.
journey was. But
Mm-hmm.
then I did 4 shows and I was like, okay. I'm trying to figure out how the model, the DJ, and the vendors, all of this gonna work for me for the future. So I was like, you know what? I have a company. Um, I'm trying to make my little small business into kind of like a one-stop shop thing. So I'm already doing event planning. I've been doing that since 1991. Um, then I've been modeling. Modeling helps when it comes to branding your business. I will tell you that much.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, ooh, I've already did my research on DJing. Let me go ahead and let me explore the DJ.
Mm-hmm.
So 2014, got over here, did all of that research. Still didn't do anything for about 2 years. So at the end of December 2015, a guy from California that he and we were in in a magazine together. He said, Pink Diamond, why don't you become my DJ and you and I um will make a great business couple. I'm singing, you the sexy female, you DJing, and we can go Las Vegas. I was like, damn,
Mm.
great. I ain't got no kids, nobody,
Nice.
nobody to be
Ah,
worrying about no more. And
mm,
so that's when the following year, I mean, right after Christmas of 2015, I had another DJ friend who had 30 years in, and I already had a DJ mentor who is a young cat,
mhm,
young cat. So he used to make me CDs all the time. So I'm like, I'm go back and revisit him. So with those two guys, um, one helped me select my equipment for the first time, and the other one used to come over my house and help me. Okay, this is that, and this is that, and then they left me alone, and then I
mm,
learned how to do everything on my own from there.
mm,
So that's how I actually got started. So in 2016, I bought my January 1st, 2016. I bought my first set of equipment. I said because by that time, from 14 to 16, I'm already a grandma. She's already 2 years old. I've already been playing music with her. I've been letting her
mhm,
play on my DJ board, my new DJ board. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have fun with me and my grandbaby with this
uh-huh,
DJing journey, right? So then after that, um, my first DJ gigs, thanks to the Miami takeover in DC, thanks to them, they booked me, and I went to Miami, Florida,
mm,
and they said, "Well, it's a pool party." I said, "Oh, Rick, does that mean I can wear DJ?" And they said,
oh,
"Yeah."
you're breaking up a little bit.
That's all
Ooh,
I need to know. So it was an amazing experience because I love Miami. I was always hanging with this particular. I was always hanging with this particular group in
uh,
DC every July, and for them to take a risk on me, they never heard me DJ before, but they was
mm,
like some of them were my frat brothers, so they gave me an opportunity, and I just went over there. I was so nervous. I opened up for some celebrity female DJs in Miami, and I opened up for Beyonce's father's new girl group at that time that he was working on.
wow.
Hmm. Yeah,
Mm,
so now my hands was shaking. It was shaking, but nobody still it wouldn't even nobody didn't even recognize me as even being a grandmother DJ.
mhm, mhm,
You know, until I
mhm,
started putting my granddaughter out there a little bit more. So that was a little bit interesting. And then from there, I'm here, DJ Pink Diamond. So I've had lots and lots of gigs. I get booked a lot. Some stuff I would never think I would get booked for, but it's very
mm.
interesting. My DJ resume is
Yeah, I
very interesting.
found it very interesting when I read your bio. I had no idea that, like you were talking about the fleet DJs, and I'm like, so what is that? And the group, and then I heard you say just mentioned a few minutes ago about the in your fraternity. Is that like a DJ fraternity? Something? Is that what you're saying? And
No, no, no. So I'm with a DJ coalition, which is you just mentioned the Fleet DJs. I joined the Fleet DJs in 2021 because I needed some guidance as a female DJ, a grandma DJ, uh,
Mhm.
y- uh, um, you know, and more. I just needed some
Right.
guidance,
I just didn't realize there was all this support out there for DJ. That is very interesting. I had no idea.
Well, yes. And when I did my research on them, I was like, okay, this is great because we were in COVID. Um,
Hmm.
and from 2016 to 2019, I was moving around DJing. So when
Mm-hmm.
2020 came, there was like, stop, no more making money. But I said, there is a way to make some money. I was
Mm-hmm.
DJing for my sorority on
Mm.
Zoom, on Zoom,
Ah,
on
okay.
Zoom. And then
Okay.
once the pandemic started gradually opening it up a little bit, I started taking on more gigs. In 2022, I was so booked, I was so overwhelmed. But I was everywhere,
Mm, mm,
And so now my 2023 is starting. I just got a booking yesterday for a wedding in September, and I'm the Virginia Fleet DJs manager. So I'm putting together a conference. I'm still
mm,
modeling. Um, I do magazines. Um, and I really work a full-time job. So it's a whole lot of stuff that I do, but guess
mhm.
what? I have the time, the energy, because I'm
Very-
not I mean, I'm an adult mother now. I'm not a kid's mother or a baby's
mhm,
mother.
mhm,
So
mhm.
they are gone. So I have to keep myself busy doing something.
So you're what I call a 2.0 grandma. You're doing it
Girl,
all.
yeah.
The world is your oyster. Yes, honey, you're doing it all. And that's what we're talking about. And those are the kind of people that I like to highlight because I think there's so many grandmas out there that feel like they're at the end of the road. Their journey is over. They're not, they don't know what to do with themselves because they put everything on hold for kids sometimes, for their spouses or whatever. And so now they're just like, what do I do? There's a lot of grandmas out there, and I'm saying, just like you're saying, girl, do whatever you want to do. You
Yeah,
got adults now. Look, this is the time to be you and to do the things that you've always wanted to do. And that's why I love your story because I think it's such an inspiration to so many grandmas that are out there that just haven't realized that
right.
they can still live their best life. And this chapter, this 2.0 version, can be the best version if you want. And you get to write it any way you want. Just like you say, you're modeling, you're DJing, you're doing this. I mean, wow. Impressive.
Yeah,
Impressive.
I do a lot for my age. Unbelievably, yes. But I have that energy now. And
Mhm.
then, a lot of times being a grandmother doesn't mean we're supposed to be sitting in the house or sitting on the
Mm.
porch or babysitting. We don't do no babysitting, y'all. We don't do no
Girl, we're not
babysitting.
doing that. No,
We
no, no, no.
no babysitting, because the main thing about us as being grandmothers, we're a different type of grandmother. Um,
Yes, honey.
I have my own life to live. I can't be
Yes.
sitting around um, babysitting all the time. And I love my granddaughter. You hear
Hmm.
me? But
Yes.
now she's at the point where I can say, Zoe, you want to ride with Yaya today? And if
Uh-huh.
she say yeah, that's cool. If
Uh-huh.
she say no, that's cool. Guess what? I mean, she's growing older now, but at
Uh-huh.
least I can ask her, does she want to come roll with me?
Mhm, mhm,
I don't have
mhm.
to make her.
Right. Get your butt in this car seat. Let's go. Right. You don't have to do that.
Right. Yeah. Well, she's not. She's only 8 years old. So
Uh-huh.
I'm in the process of um teaching, training, whatever I can do to make her be successful, even
Yeah.
if I don't live to see her become an adult. At least she
Mhm,
gonna say my yaya was all over the place, and
mhm.
my yaya was an entrepreneur. If my yaya
Yeah.
can do it, I can do it too.
Yes, and that's it. It's about leaving a legacy for your children. And part of that legacy is, yes, leaving money and all that, yes. But it's also about leaving them this idea, like you said, that they can be anything they want to do. Because guess what? My Yaya did it. She was a model. She was a DJ. She was an event planner. And she was looking fine while she was doing it, honey, and then had the energy to do it. So if she can do that, I can do that too. So yeah, that's what I
You
love
know, you
about your story. That's what I love
you
about
know
it.
what's so funny? Like she's in the second grade now. And so some days my daughter will send me a picture and be like, this is what Zoe has. I said, whoa, wow. So who's picking her outfits out and who's buying these outfits and that or that, right?
Mhm.
She's like, she's picking out her own outfits. I was like, really? So she's got some fashion tips
Yeah,
too. I'm like, oh, that's another piece.
fashionista too.
Look, that's a piece of, that's some money for her. Listen,
Yes.
teach her you have to teach her the skills of being an entrepreneur, because if she's doing her own little fashion and then she likes to dip and dab with Yaya DJing too. Let me tell you that.
Mhm.
I got video
Mm,
clips to prove it. But I'm
mm.
trying to teach her how to be an entrepreneur right now.
Yes,
Right now.
yes, yes,
Right now.
yes, yes.
I love it. I
Because I
love it.
mean, that is the way to go. You know, we know because that it's unlimited if you do it that way. If you work for someone else, they're gonna put a limit on it for you. But
Right.
anyway, so now let's talk about how people can get in touch with you.
Okay, so I have so much social media, guys. I'm on Facebook under DJ Pynk Diamond. That's DJPYNK DYAMOND. Um, but on that page too, you also see events that I go to, that I help with, that I also plan. It could be anything, but also my website is the same thing, djpinkdiamond.com. I'm on Instagram at DCSENTCO. My pages, that page is not private. That page is public, but my other page is private.
Okay.
So, just you'll find me. Long as you put in DJ Pynk Diamond with Y's no eyes, you'll find me.
I love that. Wise, no eyes. And let me ask one last thing. What final tip would you give a grandma who's out there struggling with, coming into her own, so to speak?
Well,
what would
one
you
thing I would say is, I mean, I have a lot of friends that are some grandmas, and I have some friends that are not grandmas that want to be grandmas. But for me to give somebody else a tip on getting yourself up there, we only got one life to live. You might as well do exactly what you want to do, um, especially, and I'm gonna say that like a little bit tender, because if you are single, do what you want to do. Now, if you are married, you got to sit down and talk to the other person,
Mhm.
because you know it being in a marriage is different being single. When you're out and about so much being single, and you don't want to be doing things that you really want to do, and you're married and y'all haven't discussed that. So just, to me, I would say live life to the fullest. We don't know when we're going to leave here. I'm trying to live as long as I can,
Yes.
girl.
Yes.
Listen, I had a 100-year-old aunt that just died in 2021. If I
Wow.
can live to be 100, and
Mm.
she wasn't a grandma either. She had no kids, so she didn't get a chance to be a grandmother. But that would be wonderful if I can live that long. I swear.
Mm. Well, let's hope that God heard your wishes and He will grant it. Okay.
Most
It was
definitely. Most definitely.
wonderful getting to know you a little better. It was really wonderful. So I look forward to seeing you again soon and hearing from you and hearing about you. And again, thank you so much because I believe that your journey will enlighten someone else and then help them kind of rethink, redesign, and redefine who they are. So thank you again so much.
Yes, make sure y'all do follow me. I do give you some entertainment every day. Every
Yes.
day.
Yes, yes, yes. And so, radio shows that you are on or streaming, give us that information too before we go.
So I'm on the Fleet Radio Network. If you download that app, I'm probably on about 8 shows on that particular network. So download Fleet Radio Network on Google or the iPhone store. But my shows that are not within the Fleet Radio Network, like Cruise Inc. Radio, I come on tonight. That's a Richmond, Virginia based radio station at 10 a.m. late at night. I'm on KHUR Radio in San Antonio, Texas. And I'm also on a FM station 4 days a week in Jonesboro, Arkansas, KLEK. So, I'm on 11 stations, with one of them, like I said, being an FM station. And if you download that Fleet Radio Network app, you're sure to be catch me. You can catch me on any one of those stations as long as you read the caption of the name of the show. And then on the other ones, it's a certain link we have. And then if you catch that, just click that link, and DJ Pynk Diamond, trust and believe me, will have your song, whether it's old school or whether it's new school, be played.
All right. Thank you, DJ Pink Diamond. It was my pleasure to have you on the show today. And I just want to say thank you, and continue to be great. Continue to be who you are.
Thank you so much, Dr. Marsh. Look forward to
And we'll
seeing
talk
more of your
soon.
podcast shows as well.
Thank you. Thank you, darling. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
So the 2.0 Grandma Show is about grandmas, for grandmas, by a grandma. And I'd like to thank my special guest this afternoon, DJ Pink Diamond. I'm calling her the Grandma DJ. Yes, honey. Thank you so much.